Welcome to another Inside Colebys. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the 10 steps to starting a watch business. So, let's jump into it. I was thinking what video to do, and I thought, what questions do we get asked the most, or what comes up the most on messages and stuff? And obviously, if you're into watches, you would have seen the last few years there's so many new watch companies popped up. And I get loads of people asking me, what advice have you got, and can you help us start out, blah blah blah. So I thought I'd do a video. Hopefully this will help some of you that are starting out or just getting started in watches. And if you're just watching it to be nosy, hopefully it'll give you a bit of an idea of the business and some of the things we have to go through and think of still on a daily basis, really, because you never stop growing. But yeah, so number one is knowledge. So if you're starting out or in the early stages of a watch business, there's no excuse not to be constantly learning stuff. Like, there's so much free information online. Yeah, so there's like, you got blogs online, you got YouTube videos, you got you should be looking at like the businesses you like the watch businesses. You should be looking at Instagram every day, looking at prices, the products they're selling, just educating yourself. Like, if you've been in this game a long time, there's still loads to learn, but to start off it's overwhelming. But you're lucky, really, because like years ago the only way to learn was just for experience, and that involved making mistakes, and it was a lot slower process. But yeah, there's so much to learn, and if you're not constantly looking stuff up and learning stuff, it's just lazy, because there's so much out there for free now. So number two is capital. So you need to think of what capital you got to basically start. So don't be too overwhelmed. Everyone does start out small. Everyone starts out with a small box of watches or no watches, or everyone is there. At some point, it's a good idea to get someone on board, some sort of investor, to get a cash injection, and because the more stock you have, the more deals that are possible. Yeah, but don't do it too early. You want to gain some experience first, which I'll talk about later. But yeah, think about what capital you got, whether it's a bit of savings or you can get some money off someone, and what that will get you, and that will kind of give you a good starting point of where you're going to be. And then, like I said, a little bit down the line, 6 months to a year, if you're doing it more full time, definitely think about speaking to people early and trying to get that cash injection, because that really will boost your business forward. You just basically, there's more deals on the tables to be done, basically. So yeah, number three is time. So this saying is so true. So you get out what you put in. So if you're doing watches part-time, anything you do part-time is only going to get part-time results. So yeah, you might nick a few quid here and there, sending to friends and family, but the hard move is going into it full-time. It's like what I said in one of my previous videos, the pros and cons to the watch game. That's the hard transition. But a good way to think of it is work out your income. Once you start with watches, you'll kind of learn the margin, or the profit you're getting out of them. So then you'll know, all right, I need to do X amount of watches a month to replace my income. And then that's kind of a good stage to jump into it full-time. Number four is contacts. This, I think, is one of the most important points I'm going to talk about. Contacts are massive. Like in any business, you can't go very far just on your own. But in this business especially, you'll learn like contacts are massive. One like misconception, just to be straight with you, there's no one go-to contact like a customer or trade supplier. People think that you get in the business and then there's a trade supplier you get everything from, and it's super smooth and they're cheap. That's not the case. I promise you, everyone in the watch business uses tons of different suppliers. You change, they come and go. Some are like friends, some you hardly speak to. But yeah, it's just a complete like madness of different people. It's like a spider web of different people. So yeah, just to clear that up, you're not going to find the holy grail of like suppliers, and they're just going to make your business boom. You have to be really busy speaking to tons of people. Like, we're in different WhatsApp groups, and obviously there's tons of business done on WhatsApp groups with watches, and we're in different groups. Some are 50 people, some 70, some 100, some 200. So yeah, it's like we could be getting watches from a few hundred people, but you will have like a main circle that you'll deal with. you just trust the most and get on with the most, and you kind of find as you start doing more deals with set people, that kind of the momentum builds. But yeah, contact is huge. Speak to as many people as you can. Don't write some weak message like, "Hi, I'm really interested in watches. Can you help me? Can you do me some cheap watches?" Blah blah blah. We get that every single day, and it just don't go very far. The best introduction is a deal. Like, that's when someone will take you the most serious. But just, yeah, maybe just say, like, I want to set out to speak to one new person a day. Like, everyone is so easy to reach now. Like, you've only got to Google their name and pick up the phone or send them a DM. But yeah, the best introduction is a deal. Just get meeting and building rapport with as many people as you can. And remember, you only get one chance to make a first impression. So, number 5. I think it's number 5. Yeah, number 5. The first deal. Just work towards getting the first deal done. Doing watch deals, you'll find they're actually quite easy. So running a business is difficult, and a lot of things that come with it are challenging, and you're always juggling. But the actual doing the deal part is very easy. So if you haven't already, just get the first deal done. It'll clear some demons out your head, and you'll find it'll kind of flow on with that person to kind of more, and it just opens up a door really. But yeah, so if you haven't already, just focus on getting that first deal done. Number 6, this is something we don't do enough, but set some targets. So I don't know if you've seen, there's a guy on YouTube called Timepiece Gentleman, and he's doing a day in the life series, and he set a target where he wants to turn over a certain amount of money in 2021. And like I said, we don't do it enough, but it's such a good way to stay on track. Like, I know it's super cringy, but like they say, if you just jump in a car and start driving, you don't know where you're going. Like, you don't turn the sat nav on. Like, it's hard to stay on track, but if you got the sat nav on, whether you're taking the wrong turns or not, you kind of know where you should be. So I'm going to cringe when I watch that back, but yeah, it's true. Like, set some targets. Like I said about the income, maybe you do that. Maybe you say, I want to speak to a new contact every day. But yeah, set some targets. It'll make you stay on track. And yeah, just with the points I said in this video, you kind of use that to set some different goals, and yeah, it'll keep you on a straight and narrow. Number 7, branding. So this is much easier than what it seems. You need a nice, professional-looking, clean brand, like a logo. You can use, if you just get a logo done, you use that on your WhatsApp profile picture, your social medias, invoice templates, emails, website, etc., etc. So yeah, it's something so simple, but it makes you look more professional. You can do this in a day, get it done. I can give you, if you like ours or want to know who done ours, I can give you his contact details. He's really good to work with. Or alternatively, if you're looking for something more on a bit of a budget, I recommend going on Fiverr. It's like a website that you get freelancers on. They do everything, like voiceovers, logo design, website design, YouTube intro videos, invoice templates, everything. But you'll get a logo done on there for not a lot of money at all, like 20 quid, 50 quid. It ain't got to be perfect to start out. It's more just about looking consistent across all the platforms. It just makes you look so much more professional. Number 8 is an online presence. So again, this is easier to do than what it looks. Like, compare it to years ago, to have a good presence would have been like physical presence. So that's a shop front, a proper amount of stock, experience, a good reputation, a name in the business. Whereas now, like, those things help, but in a week you can set up a nice website, nice social medias, you got your logo done, and it all looks really clean and professional. You can, like, I know tons of watch people that roll around different watch shops and offices and take photos of other people's watches. They ain't even theirs, but it builds up a good kind of profile of like their social media pictures. So yeah, it's really easy now to build a good online presence. But just think of it like this: like, as soon as I get off the phone, I'm gonna open up Google and Google them and see what comes up about their business, about them, and how much trust are you really going to have if someone don't have a website, or if someone's social media is really weak, or there's not much about them. So yeah, just start creating as much content as you can. A lot of it's very quick and easy to do. Like, that's why I'm doing these YouTube videos. It's just more content out there. If someone Googles my name or the business, it's just something else out there someone might jump on, and it just gives you a bit of authority. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, just as an experiment, set it all up and then Google your business or your name and see how it looks. It needs to look nice and professional, and just clock what other people are doing, and you can kind of mirror that. So number 9 is experience. I'd say this is probably the key to it all. Like, it's the same with watches and diamonds and probably any business. Like, the real world experience is the best learning you can do. Like, you can have all the knowledge in the world, have all the contacts, be planning forever, but without that experience you won't move forward. And all the previous points are good, but there's people that have not got many of the previous points at all, and they're doing really well in the watch business and making money just through experience and just moving forward and just getting things done. So yeah, experience is massive. Just do as much as you can and make yourself as productive and as busy as you can, and I'd say that's the best way to learn. Number 10, to finish it off, I've chosen discipline and consistency. This is the same for like your personal life or any business really, but when you start out in watches, it's quite easy to be motivated. Like, it's quite glamorous. Like, you're rolling around with big watches and they're quite it's just a glamorous business. Do you know what I mean? But when something goes wrong, or you hit a quiet patch, or it's not what you thought it was going to be, it's easy to lose that motivation. But if you're disciplined, probably similar to the point I said about setting some targets, like, that's to keep you disciplined. Like, discipline and motivation is different. Do you know what I mean? And you got to be, like, discipline is like consistency. Like, you got to be consistent with it. You can't just, it's easy to be smashing it when you're feeling good and taking the money and your business is flying, but in them quiet times, the people that win are the people that push through and are disciplined. So yeah, just stay disciplined and stay consistent, and you will see results. Like, also consistency is not a good look when someone's on it for a week and then they disappear for a month, like on their social medias or on the phone or whatever. Just doesn't look very professional. So just say to yourself, like, if you're starting up a social media, I'm going to do one post a day. I'm gonna ring one new contact a day or whatever. But yeah, just, I'd say discipline and consistency, just a good characteristic to have. So that was 10 points on starting a watch business, or our advice on the things you need to start a watch business. So I hope you learned something from it. That's the idea, just to give a bit of advice and inside information, or an inside look into the business. One thing I'll end on, though, I was literally thinking as I was saying that, is don't compare yourself too much to others. Like they say, comparison's the thief of joy, yeah? So competition's healthy, 100%. It keeps you sharp and it gives you ideas, and you can mirror it and put your own spin on it. But don't spend too long dwelling on it. Like, we're guilty of it, and most people are. Like, everyone on social media puts their best moments of the day, their best products, just to glamorize it. Do you know what I mean? That's kind of how it works, unfortunately. But that's why I'm doing these videos, to do the opposite and just just give an honest kind of inside look into it all, really. But yeah, don't spend too long comparing yourself to others. It ain't healthy. Like, I'm talking about in the watch business. You're comparing yourself to people on a completely different path to yours. Like, they was all where you were at one stage. So yeah, just get started, just stick to your goals, and you will start seeing results. You know, I feel like a motivational speaker. Jesus. So if you're watching this because you are getting started in the watch game, on our Instagram in the bio is a mobile number. That number comes straight through to me, so you're welcome to WhatsApp that whenever. Other ways you contact the company won't necessarily come through to me, so an Instagram DM or email or phone call won't necessarily come straight through, but the number on the Insta bio will come straight through to me. So yeah, message me. I might not get back straight away, we've been mad busy recently, but I promise I will get back to you. And yeah, fucking at one of yous or three of yous just through this video, then it's done its job. And if you're not starting out in watches and just watched this video to be nosy, then thank you. I hope it was interesting and gave you an insight into the things we think is important to start out in the watch game. And yeah, so I hope you found it interesting. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next video.